All right, so number 6 is the first problem where we're going to use the zero product property to factor and then set each of the factors equal to 0. So the first step in these problems is to get one side equal to 0. So let's go ahead and add cosine of theta to both sides. So we get cosine theta tangent of theta minus, so negative 2 cosine of theta plus 1 cosine of theta is going to be negative 1 cosine of theta. So minus cosine of theta equals 0. And now we've got a cosine in each of these terms, so we can factor that out. So we'll factor out a cosine of theta, and what we're left with is tangent of theta minus 1. So we've factored a cosine out of this. We get cosine times tangent minus 1 equals 0. And now we can set each of these equal to 0. So we get cosine of theta equals 0 and tangent of theta minus 1 equals 0. All right, so over here, if cosine theta equals 0, then theta is going to be pi over 2 or 3 pi over 2. And over here, we're going to want to add 1 to both sides, so tangent theta equals 1. And now tangent isn't on your unit circle, but remember tangent is sine over cosine. So if the tangent is equal to 1, you're going to want to look for places where the sine and the cosine are the same, because anything divided by itself is 1. So if we look at pi over 4, for example, pi over 4, the sine is square root of 2 over 2, and the cosine is square root of 2 over 2. And if we divide those, square root of 2 over 2 divided by square root of 2 over 2, just like anything divided by itself, it's going to equal 1. And that same thing is going to hold true down at 5 pi over 4, where they're both negative. So, so theta is going to be equal to pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. And so all of these are going to be our answers. Pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, pi over 4, and 5 pi over 4.